celebrate Christ the King in a world which is in contradiction to what the mind of the church expresses when the church asks her children to allow Jesus Christ to reign in their soul, in their life, and in their country. There was a time when certain countries accepted that God was the supreme master over politics and human legislation. And in society, God was respected, honored, and celebrated. Of course, since the Russian Revolution of 1917, First World War, Second World War, and of course the aberration of Vatican II, 1962-65, and the ushering of the New World Order, God has been dismissed, evacuated. We don't want Him to reign in our soul. We certainly do not want Him to reign in our society. We want to get rid of Him. We don't want to celebrate God anymore. God is dead. As the German philosopher used to say, God is dead. Celebrate His death. This is an attack on human nature and on the truth. Men today do not want the truth because they live in a world that is totally conditioned by the philosophy of Kant, the German philosopher, where truth is what you make it to be. Nothing outside of reality exists. And for them, the truth is what you make it to be. There is no objective truth for them. The truth is what you say it is. We know this is not true. If I tell you I've got $10 million in the bank, that does not mean that the $10 million really exists. The truth is not what I make it to be. The truth is objective reality. It is the confrontation of reality with what you say. But people today don't want the truth. And God is the truth. Our Lord told us, I am the truth. And we on earth, we are children of lies. We are all children of lies because we are all born of Adam and Eve and of the stock of fallen nature. That's why we are all born under the imperium, under the reign of the devil, with original sin in us. And that's why at baptism, the priest is asked by the church to perform 2 exorcisms on the candidate to be baptized. It is because everyone who is born into this world is born under the reign of Satan and is a child of lies and must be liberated from Satan's hold and from the appetite for lies, and to be trained in the truth so as to know the truth, to love the truth, and to serve the truth, our Lord Himself. This is why most people don't want Christ to reign over them and in society. It's too much trouble. Because God is the truth, and lies dissipates in His presence, just like light dissipates darkness. And children of lies don't like the light. They prefer darkness. This is why, way back in 1925, Pope Pius XI wrote a famous encyclical post Primas, extending the feast of Christ the King to the last Sunday in October, to the whole world, asking that we celebrate Christ as the King that should reign in the soul of each one of us, in each country, in each society, and give him the place he deserves in the public square, in public debates, in public decisions, because he is the truth and we are children of lies. You can imagine 1925, and we are now a month away from finishing 2021. So in 4 years, it will be 100 years since Pope Pius XI wrote the encyclical in 1925. This comes roughly 50 years after the American Civil War. And it is only 8 years after the Russian Revolution of 1917, with the overthrow of the Romanovs and Holy Russia, and Lenin established the communist government. Communism would at last be taken over in Russia, the first country to really put into practice the thoughts of Karl Marx and Engels. And the Pope, after 8 years of communism in Russia, saw the damage that was being done, because Russia would be exporting its problems. Communism would be exported, and we can laugh and say it's about the only thing Russia could export. Communism everywhere. And we know what they will do, exporting it to other countries to encourage revolutions. And we know the damage this would do. China, Vietnam, on the Asian continent, Korea, and of course, Africa, and South America, and Central America. The exportation of communism by Russia is going to export lies and comfort the children of lies of this world into their darkness. So the Pope in 1925 will wake up the conscience of the world and tell them of the imminent danger that is going to happen. Our Lady in 1917, in Fatima, warned us that Russia is going to export atheism, the disbelief in God, and a godless world where God is evacuated from society, from families, from schools, from everything. God is dead. And Russia will become the promoter of the death of God and export it all over the world. Russia will become the powerhouse of the exports of the death of God. And this will bring about many things, and I will touch on only two. The first one is that truth will be combated everywhere, and a system of lies will be established. Lies in finance, in politics, in international relations, in the New World Order. Everything will be based on lies. And the children of lies will find their new paradise and reject the truth, God Himself. We know what the lies of communism will do. I'm not saying capitalism is better, but communism is worse. I rather live under capitalism and try to transform it from the interior than live under communism. There's no reform in communism. And the communists are the agents of the devil. As the Pope said in his encyclical, communism is intrinsically evil because it attacks God and it enslaves the children of God in lies and darkness, whereas our Lord came to bring us light and truth. The second big damage that will happen if Christ is not the King of souls in society is a war on nature. And the war on nature has been going on. Look at today. We no longer know who we are. And man is comforted. And society enacts laws. Our legislatures, they vote laws to say that lies are true and truth does not exist. If a man decides to wear a dress and say he's a woman, the government will vote a law to say he has to be respected. Now his gender is a woman and no longer a man. And we must celebrate him. And the law will protect him. And we have to give our money to transform him and get him to become, in all kinds of ways, a woman, either chemically or by surgery. We must pay for him to transit from masculinity to femininity. Even if we don't accept it, the government will confiscate our money and help that person to transition. The government will force us to wage war on nature with our hard-earned money. This is the consequence of the lies the devil wants us to do if we don't accept the truth and want to remain children of lies. When we look around us, the war on nature is everywhere. We voted to decriminalize abortion. It's no longer a crime to kill. It's okay. We call it reproductive health. It's a very nice name for us to say it's a crime. And what do the legislature do? They vote laws to protect a crime and tell us we have to finance it. Our tax money will finance the clinics that will perform abortion. And we are forced to pay for it, even if we were against it. We are forced to wage war on nature, even if we want to live as children of light and to live with the truth. We are forced, against our will, to wage war on nature. Look at the way society is organized, the way we train children to become. Society is so messed up because we're waging war on nature. There's an old saying that nature does not tolerate a vacuum. Once you take away something from nature, it will be filled up by something else. Nature holds vacuum in horror. Nature does not tolerate a vacuum. So when the children of lies wage war on nature, they are mutilating themselves. They committing slow suicide. They are slowly killing themselves. Because darkness and lies will only kill you. It is only light and the truth that will bring you to a real human life and bring happiness. Fighting against truth, fighting against nature is the recipe for disaster.